is what if Deku was Iron Man Part 1. Now, I think I did a what if on this a couple months back. Or not a couple months, like a year ago, but I don't think I ever posted it. But if I did, that is canceled now. Because I ain't gonna go and scroll down all the way to like a year later in my channel. And yeah, it's been like about 2 years since I started my channel. So that's an accomplishment, I guess. So yeah. So I'm not really gonna talk anymore. I am gonna be posting What If Deku was Soldier Boy this Friday or Thursday, and this Wednesday, and you're gonna see this on Tuesday. This Wednesday, I am gonna be doing a double upload, and today, on Tuesday, I am gonna be doing a reaction video for the very first time since, I'm looking better now, and yeah, so I'm going to be doing a reaction video later today to an episode of My Hero Academia and giving my thoughts about it. So yeah, so I'm going to be reacting to My Hero Academia videos and basically anything you guys suggest. So if you have a specific video you want me to react to, just go down in the comments and tell me. But yeah, so I'm gonna get more, energized later on in the what if, but I'm just doing the, introduction here. So yeah, and I also am going to be might be changing my intro. My outro is going to be the same, but I might change my intro for my what ifs, because I do have a different intro for my action figure stuff and my what if videos. But I am also going to be doing a new project I'm working on that I'm actually really excited for. It's pretty much a spin-off of Anime House, but with action figures and Marvel characters. So it's basically going to be called Marvel House. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe, and let's just dive right into the video, right into the story and the fiction. They start our story off with Deku's heritage, as Deku's heritage would be similar to the same with Tony Stark's. As Deku's father would be working overseas to provide for his family, as Deku would be, well, not really connected with his father too much, as his father would be a pretty renowned, like, straight up child prodigy when he was a kid, and he's working a very high paying job, but he barely has any time to work with his family. Now, pretty much he does make time on holidays like Inko's birthday, Deku's birthday, or his, and he does make time for Christmas, and literally any holiday, even even Labor Day. So he is there sometimes, but every normal day, like a week or something, or even something like a family get together, he's never really there, but he is there for every single holiday, so that's a good thing. But basically, Deku's father, every time he comes back, he gives him a gift, or he gives him some sort of puzzle to pretty much crack, to make sure he's on his mental game, to make sure he's, well, mentally prepared for what his father wants him to do. Now we get switched to Deku growing up as a child, and when Deku turns 5, he's a child prodigy. Everybody, all of his teachers are extremely impressed of his smarts and his, well, problem thinking skills. Like, he's beyond the grade level he should even be. He's beyond even 10th grade level. He's basically somebody that should go to Harvard at the age of 5. Like, he's incredibly smart, and he has, like, Deku's ability. Deku doesn't really have a quirk. Deku's mind is just built different, or brain just built different. He's just basically the same intelligence as Tony Stark, and he basically also has a complete photographic memory, so he doesn't really remember stuff, and he doesn't forget stuff easily. So Deku starts to go to the quirk doctor one day after he turns 5 on his 5th birthday, as Deku's father and mother take him to the quirk doctor as they check him, as Deku's quirk is non-existent. As they try to figure out what Deku's quirk is, as they do some tests, and they eventually find that some sort of cancer is in, or some sort of poison or virus is in Deku's body. As they tell the parents, saying that his quirk is a death quirk, as he can't kill anybody, he doesn't have the ability to do other people harm. He's killing himself with his own quirk. As Sashi's confused, saying, I'm confused. What are you talking about? How can a quirk kill you if you were born with it? As pretty much, well, Asashi is told by the doctor that the doctor goes into specific detail on how it's a type of black substance or virus that's, well, dying down on pretty much Deku's organs, as Deku's organs, like his liver, kidneys, other objects like that, and his intestines, they're durable enough to withstand the virus. They're not being affected at all. But his heart is strong, yes. He's a very peak, he's in good condition, good shape for a kid his age. But it's simple, the virus or his quirk, when it hits his heart when he grows about 15, 16 maybe, he'll start to die. His heart will start to break down. He'll start to have trouble breathing and even have trouble functioning, as he'll just start to die slowly in a matter of months, weeks, even days, maybe even hours. Maybe even on the same day as his 16th birthday, he might just die there. As they are like incredibly confused and also very much sad as Inko holds her baby, crying her eyes out. As Asashi is in shock, pure disbelief, him not believing that his son's going to die when he turns 16, like he won't even have a life. As Asashi says, is there any way we can stop it? As he says, if he put a ring or some sort of object around his heart to keep it from getting to his heart, because it is a very, very simple disease and virus. It's just very specific to Deku's DNA, and there's no cure for it. You can't make a cure for it because it's a quirk. It literally is a part of his biology. It just never showed itself because we never ran tests on him. He had it since the day he was born. Basically, Daku is understanding this. He isn't stupid. He understands that the doctor is basically saying he has a limited time to live, like a more limited time to live than anybody else. So the past couple months, past couple years, and pretty much birthdays, Daku is feeling depressed, but he doesn't keep himself depressed. He doesn't, accept the fact that he's going to die. At the time Daku turns about 15, as Daku's father is always there now, as he did get another job, pays a little bit less, like 2% less, but he gets another job in Japan in the area of the house to stay with Daku. As when he turns his 15th birthday, he just can't stand to look at Daku, because he can't stand to look at a son that's going to die at any time. As he eventually tells Inko that he's going back overseas, as he needs more money, as he just leaves. As Inko is telling him that I know this is hard, but you can't just leave now. As Sashi says, I need to. And he leaves. Past couple months go by, and Daku was thinking about pretty much what to do. As he tinkers and messes around. As Daku at this point is a very big techie genius. As he doesn't really let the fact that he's going to die define him. As he tries to make plans later on in his life. Ignoring the fact of his quirk, him trying to figure out some way to erase a quirk or overall make it not powerful at all, to dampen a quirk, but it's simple to save his life. As Daku goes into more technology, goes into some biology, but that doesn't really work out really well for him as he goes more into tech and bio enhancements. As he eventually makes a power source. Time Deku's about, because Deku would be about turning 15. He would be 14 at this point. He was turning 15. So Deku would be 14, as he would basically make the Arc Reactor in the basement of his house. As this would be like about 2 months after Asashi would go back overseas. As Asashi would have came back, as he would have pretty much not quit his job. He would just get the same job he had that paid a little bit, like he had 1% less, so he got a little more money, but he already paid like a crap ton of money even without the 2% in interest. But basically 2%, the 1% that he was paid less didn't really matter, because he got a better job opportunity in Japan and left overseas to get back to his family to clear his mind about his son dying. As he would come back home, as he would see pretty much Deku in the basement, as the basement would basically be Deku's laboratory. Like, he would deck it out. It would look like a whole Tony Stark. It would basically, since Deku's father was kind of rich, they lived in a pretty big house, like a pretty rich house. As Daku would live in a house similar to this, his parents would live in a big type of really modernized tech house, like super pumped out of tech. As he would be about a couple miles away from UA, like in the forest area, like in the mountain area in Japan, as he would be close enough to his school plus UA to go back and forth in like a couple minutes, like 15 to 16, or maybe even 20 minutes, depending on the traffic. So basically, pretty much Deku's lab area, Daku's lab area would be about, well, the same area where the Tony Stark house, because like the house will be built or pretty much like exactly like Tony Stark's house. So basically, it would be like his house in the first Iron Man movie, as Daku's room would be upstairs, but he would barely sleep in his room, as he would mainly be pretty much downstairs working on tech and other things like that, as his family would get him pretty much practically everything. Deku wouldn't be spoiled. He would just appreciate that his parents were trying to do everything they could to make him happy before he would die. As Deku would work on tech and other things like that, even going as far as to work on a career to make or become a hero. As he would think about becoming a hero, even though his quirk is literally just killing him, as he does figure out a way to stop this. As he puts more money and tech into another project he is doing, because he does have a low class type business he's running right now. He calls it Stark Tech right now. He calls it Midoriya Corporations right now. And he's working on other objects, weapons, and also tech, and also other things like new power sources that can help the environment, like Arc Reactors, the biggest sell he is making right now, as Arc Reactors go for about, let's say, like $1 million a part. So basically Deku is like straight up making huge masses of energy left and right, as he makes low class Arc Reactors that can power a city for a couple of years, as Deku uses pretty much high tech, military grade technology and parts to make more advanced Arc Reactors for a project he's making for a hero career he wants to make. He wants to be pretty much a businessman plus a hero, so he's trying to make that, a thing or a reality. As Deku goes time and time, puts more time and more of his life earnings from his other career he's having right now, he gets like hundreds of millions of dollars from it each year. So Deku pretty much made this business when he was about, like, let's say maybe 13, and then just forged IDs and stuff like that to make it a full-on business. So basically, not 14, about like 13, because he's turning 14. He's turning 15 right now. So about like a year went by, he made like about, let's say, $40 million already from it. So, and a couple other, like $50 million from another business or another part of the business, not just from the Arc Reactors. So, pretty simple, Deku got a lot of money from this. And even though his parents were already rich because of his father's job, and also Inko had, pretty much a really, I mean, stupid amounts of money, like literally just packed on her family legacy. Like, she had so much money in her will, like it was unbelievable. So basically, Deku was like a very rich kid. He had money to spare. So Deku started to put money, resources, and time into this project he was making, an Arc Reactor. As he would make an Arc Reactor for his chest, his body, as he would modify it for it to go into a human body, as he would, pretty much make the tech type, designs, or pretty much these. So basically, the same type of, I don't remember, dummy robots that Tony started to, cuss out, or he was pretty much mad at one of them. I think like the claw one. Basically, they started to do the procedure on Deku, and it lasted for about like 5 hours. As they put the procedure done, they hit the magnet in his chest to propel the poison away from his heart for, well, until he changes it out or just recharges the Arc Reactor for all of time before he dies from natural causes, not from the poison that his quirk produces that kills him. So basically, put it simple, that could find out a way to save his life, as he made the first reactor to put into a human body, his Arc Reactor. So Deku put it in his chest and turned it on, as he would feel somewhat powerful, as he would feel more powerful and more healthy than he ever felt, because the poison was slowly making him more lethargic and overall just making him feel like he couldn't do much of anything, as he would use most of all of his willpower to stay awake half of the nights and basically stay up until like 3 o'clock in the morning to work on this project, the Arc Reactor, as he would make it, and well, as he put it in his chest, as he would feel better, more healthy, like he had life to spare. As Daku started to experiment, as he would be faster, stronger, and overall just in best physical shape. As the Arc Reactor would have boosted Deku's blood and basically, his whole anatomy, as Deku would be about, not superhuman levels of strength or speed, but he would be near like peak athlete, wow, I can't speak today, athlete strength, as he would be about like peak athlete strength, like Olympic type speed, strength, swimming skills, and other things like that. As Deku would also make it waterproof, obviously, because he had to take a shower with it, so he made the Arc Reactor waterproof, and also made it bulletproof as well, for some reason. Just, to come in handy later on, foreshadowing. So basically, it's simple. Deku put a lot of time and, pretty much a lot of skills in this Arc Reactor. As since it would make his heart, like, supercharged, and also a couple more of his other organs supercharged as well, as it made him, like straight up athlete type levels of strength and, like, Olympic levels of strength. Like, he could break already, like, impressive Olympic records in like a span of a couple days. Like, he didn't really put much effort or anything. He wasn't like super soldier type strength. Deku isn't like super. He doesn't have any super strength. He is about let's say Deku is about between pretty much like either a very thin line between superhuman and just human peak physical shape. So he's not superhuman from any means. He doesn't have like the ability to punch through concrete or anything like that. But Deku can easily punch through wood, crack through like he can't punch through concrete, but he can crack it a little bit. So yeah, but Deku isn't like super durable or anything like that. His healing is actually faster than normal humans. He can't heal from gunshots or anything like that, but Deku can heal from cuts or being stabbed pretty easily. By a span of a couple hours, Deku can heal from a whole knife shot or a whole stab wound to his liver or even lung. So Deku can heal pretty fast, and his blood does clot very, very much faster. So he has a less risk of bleeding out if he's stabbed or shot. So yeah, Deku also, his cognitive ability, he was already incredibly smart, but his brain activity is about 2 times faster than the peak, and I mean the smartest human that was ever alive. His brain activity is about like 2 times faster than that. So just because of the Arc Reactor, it does make his brain move a little bit faster, but Deku's brain was already fast as it is because he was a child prodigy, so it doesn't really make a difference. Deku's reaction time is about a little bit faster, Deku's reaction time is a little bit faster. He can narrowly dodge a bullet without, foreshadowing, a suit of sorts. So yeah, so Deku can narrowly dodge a bullet, luckily. A crap ton of luck has to be pit, or a crap ton of pretty much, excitations, and also timing it correctly for him to dodge a bullet. So yeah, so basically, other than that, Deku isn't superhuman of any means. He can run, jump, and dodge, and do backflips and somersaults, stuff like that, let's say athletic type abilities. So he is pretty fast, strong, and overall he just peak physical shape, like Robin type speed and strength, but he isn't, stupid levels of unmatched Batman, Bat Family type levels of strength. So guys, I'm just going more into detail. I think you get it. He isn't superhuman, but he is strong enough to give a normal man a nasty right hook and give them, a deep curve into their stomach with his knuckles. He can make somebody hurt with a nice right hook right to their face, like a huge black guy the next day, straight up. He can knock an average man out about 2 to 3 punches up the face or up in the noggin. So yeah, Deku's pretty strong without any suits, foreshadowing. So basically, pretty much after Deku would make the Arc Reactor, tell his parents about his career or his, company he's made and how much money he's made in just 1 year, as they would be extremely happy and proud of Deku, as Sashi would have that burden of pain and the potential loss of his son lifted off of his heart, as he would feel way better, as the first time in years Deku saw his father smile, as Deku would be extremely happy that he found this cure for himself, as Sashi would, pretty much, treat Deku, as they would all go out as a family, to different places and restaurants around Japan, as they would pretty much have a fantastic time. As later that day, Deku would go back into his pretty much basement, as he would work on another project he made to become a hero. Since he didn't have any other superhuman feats of strength or speed or anything like that, he wasn't superhuman by any means. He can easily be killed or attacked just like a normal human. He just was a little bit more durable. He wasn't durable, but he was a little bit more unprone to bleeding out, but nothing like a healing factor or anything like that. So Deku wasn't really too much of a superhuman. He couldn't really do much of anything against somebody that had a very powerful quirk without some sort of help, as he would have trained his body with the smarts he had over the past couple of months, as he would be pretty much going to the pristine pretty much private school that Ida and Todoroki would go to in Japan, as he would have been friends with Ida. Actually, he'd have been friends with Ida, and he would have also known Todoroki. He just wouldn't be really good friends with him. They would know each other, and they would be cool with each other. So they weren't friends, but they were cool with each other. So basically, Deku, pretty much wanted to make some sort of suit off of Ida, because Ida did show Deku one day his designs for his hero costume suit he was going to wear when he gets into UA, or if he gets into UA, as he says. As Deku does sign up for UA as well, as none of the kids really make fun of Deku, because he's like one of the richest kids in school, and pretty much the most smart, like the smartest kid in the school. So yes, Deku in this canon, he still does have green hair. I was gonna give him black hair, but he has green hair. It's just a little bit more of a darker green. So yeah, so if it's like dark in the room, you basically think his hair is black. So yeah, so Deku basically is the same. He just has the same body he had doing after the 10-month arc training. It's a little bit more perfected, and also a little bit more swimmer body-ish, but still the same amount of muscularity. So Deku basically does the same thing as in canon, as he does do the same Dago Beach training and picking up, as he trains his body more and more, as he gets that same body a little bit more toned this time, as he does pretty much gets, in this canon, Deku is about the same height as Bakugo, just like maybe a centimeter shorter. So Deku basically cleans out Dago Beach. He trains there, does jogs and laps there every couple weeks, every day actually, and trains his body to be the best it can. As Deku eventually works day and night, every night, after he even works out as well, him eating barely the minimum of anything, him passing out multiple times in the month, as he eventually figures out, his suit design, as he pretty much makes a breakthrough and he makes his first Iron Man suit. Deku makes his first Iron Man suit, as it wouldn't be the original, Mark 1 suit, like the big, blocky one, but he would have made it somewhat the same design, just make it a little bit more sleeker, as he would use it the first time with the new Arc Reactor in his chest, as he would, do practicing durability tests and other things like that. Him also having pretty much more compact flamethrowers in each arm, as it would allow him to fly as well, as he would do a fly test, as he would immediately just fall into the grassy area in the forest and almost break his leg and almost just kill himself, because the suit was very heavy when it fell down to the ground, but it was made out of a somewhat light material. As Deku would train, physically seeing that it was somewhat flexible, but he wanted to make it a little bit more flexible and also a little bit more durable and better, better advanced, because it kind of sucked, because it couldn't fly too long at least, It was very non-durable. It could take some bullet shots, some gunshots, but it was about the same durability as Tetsu's skin, as it wasn't really as durable as real steel or real full-on, titanium or anything like that. So Deku's suit was, a prototype. For a prototype, it should be flawed because it's the first time he's doing it. So Deku's first suit was kind of trash. So he started over again and again and again and again until he had about, let's say, 20 suits already. As he would have 20 suits like ranked up, as he wouldn't wear most of them being work in progresses. Pretty much 18 of those suits being still broken up into parts, still being worked on. As Deku's main three suits, like his Mark 1, I have on the screen right now. This isn't a real Mark 1, it's a Mark 2, but in this universe it is Mark 1. So pretty much the Mark 1 was put into storage or put into Deku's current made Hall of Armor. As Deku's Hall of Armors would be somewhat like this, about being 20 to 30 these window areas, with the suit like the stocking area. It would be some of those empty, but it would be most of them filled up, about 20 of them. But basically half of them not really being in there, since they would still be on the working bench, still being worked on and tweaked up. So Deku's main two suits were not his Mark 1, but actually two other separate suits. As Deku would make this suit, as this suit would be mainly his secondary suit, as it would be mainly built for, this is a automatic kill, or mainly just more durable and more stealthy type missions. As it wouldn't be his stealth suit, but it would be very much powerful, as it would have Arc Reactor blast, and also it would be solar powered, as he could take some sun from the sun, take some energy from the sun, and blast it out of all the pretty much lights on his armor, I guess the Novel laser guy or the belly button laser guy. Basically him being able to shoot lasers out of any glowy part of his suit. As he would also have the tech display being a little bit more teched out and more high tech than Mark 1, as it would be a lot more faster, flexible, and also more durable. It being able to take gunshots and even sometimes bazooka shots, about 2 or 3 of them, before it starts to wear down or starts to take real damage. As Daku's suit would mainly be built for just overall the main Iron Man abilities, like saving people's lives, flying around, but mainly being built for more stealthy missions and more intimidation. So yeah, but other than that, his other suit would be Deku's main suit. Iron Man's newest suit in the comics right now would be Deku's new suit, as it would be more of a flexible type material, as it would be half nanotech, half like suit underneath. So basically it would be half suit, half armor, as it wouldn't be all the way nanotech, as half of the suit would be nanotech. Put it simple, Deku's suit could come to him, so it would be split up in 4 sections. Basically the gloves and the boots. The boots and the gloves would be able to be automatically pretty much remoted to Deku's body, as it would be beaconed onto the Arc Reactor in Deku's chest. So when Deku needed it, it would fly to his hand on his feet, and also the gloves and boots of the armor could modify and pretty much shift or transform like Optimus style into like sneakers or shoes. As from like the ankle down on this Iron Man suit, it would be Deku's shoes, and from the pretty much the gloves, the gauntlets would be able to compact into rings on each finger of Deku's body. So yeah, so basically he can manifest it or sleek it into separate different ways, as it would be a collapsible armor, but not nanotech, not yet at least. So it would be able to collapse, as it would be able to collapse and expand on Deku's body, as it would be kind of like his Iron Man suit in the suitcase in Iron Man 2, but a lot more durable and teched out, as it would basically flap over Deku's body or expand over Deku's body, and it being charged off of Deku's Arc Reactor. As the suit would have a lot of functions that would have to be used to that would have to be powered by the Arc Reactor, so Daku had to be very sparing with how he used his suit. It had the base Iron Man abilities, or pretty much functions, like flight, repulsor blast, and beams, repulsor beam, and other things like that. Also, Daku would have Jarvis still in this universe, as he would still name it Jarvis, and then still being pretty much his, artificial AI, as it would still help him. As Daku's suit would be very much durable, probably the best suit he made thus far for mainly everything use, like the base superhero use, like saving people. It would be able to fly all the way right on the edge of pretty much the it wouldn't be able to freeze over, so Deku could fly as high as he wants until he reaches like out of the I can't talk today, out of the Earth's atmosphere. So right, like about like 6 feet away from the Earth's atmosphere, Deku would start to really cool off, or really start to freeze up, as he would have to automatically fly back down to Earth. As Deku, pretty much his suit, is pretty durable. He could take a lot of hitting, and overall it's very much durable. It could take at least like maybe two Detroit smashes to the face before it starts to dent, or before it starts to have function problems, so stuff like that. So Deku's suit was very much enhanced and teched out, as eventually maybe on part 2 or part 3 I'll introduce nanotech, but for now Deku's suit is maybe more collapsible type armor, kind of like the Iron Man 2 armor. So basically this will be Deku's main suit for the remainder of the fanfiction. So yeah, so Deku will switch out in different suits every now and then. Mainly majority Deku will switch out of a lot of his suits during the overhaul arc, but other than that, yeah, so basically Deku will, grow and expand as a character overall. But during the 2-month arc training, about like the last 3 months, Deku would start to just tweak out on this suit and take it on test drives and other things like that to Deku Beach, as he would be able to, pretty much, sneak it into shoes, and also finger rings or gloves, as he would be able to switch it to gloves or finger rings, as he would automatically like it more to switch into actually wristbands, as he would be able to compact the gloves into wristbands, as it would just look like two straight up just middle wristbands or bracelets around each of his wrists, as his shoes would look pretty nice as well. Basically, Deku go to Deku Beach, train and stuff like that with his suit, working on his target practice, him being pretty handy with the Arc Reactor blast, and also being able to fly pretty well, and like second-hand nature to him. So basically, Deku would be very much powerful, or pretty much very much high level with the suit in terms of pretty much experience, not in the field, but experience with pretty much aim, flight, and everything like that. Him already having combat training since over the 10-month arc training, he did hire some people to learn kung fu, karate, ninjutsu, and also about 2 other martial arts, plus kickboxing and slapboxing. So yeah, so Deku was pretty good in hand-to-hand combat. So Deku pretty much put on the suit and went to pretty much the entry exams, as he would have signed his suit as a pretty much a support item, as they would allow it, since he was like a very innovative, as his parents would be very I can't talk today. What is up with me today? Influential type family. I don't know if I said that right or what, but I'm not gonna say it again. So basically, Deku's parents would have a lot of, I guess, not a lot of power over UA, since they wouldn't be heroes, but they would, they would pretty much give a lot of money to UA as donations, but they weren't there for pretty much give and take back. They weren't there for that, so they just gave him the money because UA half the time needed for damages and stuff like that. So Deku didn't really use his influential of his family, the influence him. Man, I can't talk today, but I ain't even gonna talk today anymore. I ain't even talk about that anymore. Basically, Deku goes to the entry exams. He signs up his hero costume or his armor as his pretty much support item, kind of like Ida's suit, but he doesn't have a suit on. He just has his normal running stuff on. As Deku's told to get ready, as Deku's suit starts to manifest or collapse or expand over his body, like it in the picture. As Deku gets ready, and basically they start. As Deku flies off automatically up into the sky and starts to shoot down robots. As pretty much Deku put his quirk down as not killing quirk, but it would have put his quirk down as a quirk that constantly gives him the ability to make energy, but he needs a support item to use it. So pretty much it's pretty simple. He lied about him having a energy quirk. He technically did because he didn't, because he does have tech in his body keep him alive from his quirk to give him energy. Basically pretty simple. He said that the thing in his chest is his quirk, and he basically can pretty much make energy, but he can't use it or control it. So he needs a suit to manifest it or use it in, heroic ways. So basically, pretty simple. Deku just made that little lie or white lie to get into UA about his quirk. So Deku started to fly around and started to shoot down robots and stuff like that. As they would see that Deku's kind of, impressive with his whole energy manipulation power, as they would think he has some sort of energy manipulation that needed the suit to use it. The Daku started to fly around, take down more robots and more robots over and over, as he would fly towards or through multiple robots, shooting them down and more. As Deku would eventually stop right where the 0 pointer was, as he was about to fly off again, as he would have heard Ochaku scream or a brown-haired girl scream. Before that, Deku did not meet Ochaku, but he did see her under some rubble and saw that she needed help. As drivers would tell Deku that the probability of her being squished, since they got there a little bit later, as it would be 100% or about 91%, because she was about to die, for real. The robot was right about to stomp on her. The foot was about 6 feet away from her body underneath the rubble. As Deku flew there as fast as possible, breaking the sound barrier, as he would have cracked the rubble off of Ochaku. He would have punched the rubble off of Ochaku, grabbed her, and flied her out the way. As he would have landed on top of a roof, as he would have tried to check her if she was okay. As she would have been blushing, kind of, impressed by Deku's quick acting. As Deku would have grabbed her cradle style and would have flown her to Recovery Girl to get her checked up. As Deku would have fly back into the fight, or pretty much fly back into the fake city, as he would start to shoot down more robots, eventually gain up a lot of points, eventually the siren going off and all of them being told to go back home. A couple days later, about a week later, Deku got the enough from UA that he got in, and he was super excited. He, celebrated with his family yet again, and he went to UA. He went to UA next Monday. As Deku went to UA, basically being super excited, as he would have walked into class 1A. As Deku walked into class 1A, as Deku looked around and would have not recognized Bakugo, since he wouldn't know Bakugo, but he would have recognized Ida and Todoroki. As he would walk around, he would also recognize Ochaku, talking to her and kind of flirting with her a little bit. As Deku would be a lot more of a flirting type guy, as he wouldn't be, let's just say, he wouldn't have that level of disrespect for himself. He had more confidence, way more confidence, and he would have the same exact personality as Tony Stark, to put it simple. He had a straight up personality of Tony Stark, cockiness, bragginess, and overall just a ladies guy. Deku will have kind of a harem. He won't have a full-on harem. He will have a singular relationship with one of the pretty much students in class 1A. For you guys to decide who Deku should get with. Deku will be with a lot of multiple people before he gets his canonship, before he gets with his, pretty much ship. So yeah, so basically, you guys can decide, who should Deku date first, and then break up and eventually get with somebody else that he really likes. So it's going to be a drama in terms of Deku's social life or relationship life. So that's going to be a little bit more of a depth of stuff. But yeah, so Deku will, have at least 3 girlfriends in this whole series. But enough of that. So basically, Deku started to flirt with multiple girls in class 1A, including Momo and Ochaku, feeling them a little bit, as he would, flirt with most of the girls in UA, also talk to some of the guys, gaining some friendship, along with Kirishima as well, as he would just overall pretty much make himself a likable character on the first day of school. As eventually Azawa would have woken up from his bag, as he would have told the class that it took you at least 5 minutes to quiet down, and he told you guys, so that won't do. But he would tell them to get ready as they would go outside to do quirk comprehension test. As Ochaku would still pester saying that isn't fair, Azawa would say, life ain't fair, so you better get out there now. So they started to walk out, and basically they got into their, sports uniforms, as they would be told to throw the ball. As Deku would be told that he couldn't use his, support item, as Deku would say that is the only way I can use my quirk. As Azawa says, you say you had a slight physical, pretty much, enhancement from your quirk without the hero costume, or without the, pretty much, well, let's just say, or without the support item. So Azawa just told him to throw the ball before I expel you. So we better throw the ball. So if Deku throws the ball without the hero costume or without his Iron Man suit, it would still be on him with it compacted into his shoes and his wristbands. So basically Deku just grabbed the ball and chucked it as hard as possible. Him using a little booster on the wristband to throw his wrist farther, plus his already pretty impressive human strength, as he would throw it as fast as possible, him getting a pretty good score. As the hardest a person can throw, the hardest, he would about throw a little bit of a 6 feet higher than the longest or farthest recorded throw a human can possibly throw. So basically, yeah. So Deku, for the long jump, Deku aced it. He was pretty, he was pretty athletic. For the race, Deku got about, let's say, 5th place. He used some of the boosting in his, feet or his shoes to boost him forwards a little bit. So he did kind of have a pretty, good chance at winning the race, but not really, because Todoroki's ice, ability, Bakugo using his explosions to propel himself forward, and also Ida's clear, just straight up super speed ability. So yeah, so basically for that, the quick test strength, Deku gets an okay score. He gets about, let's say, 4th place. So overall, Deku gets about 5th to 4th place. So after that, everybody gets sent home with their syllabus, as Deku goes back home and basically bumps into some sort of dude. As he helps the dude up and says, oh, I'm so sorry, as he gives the dude back whatever he had, like a suitcase or something, and gives it back to him, as he passes by the guy, as he has bright, aqua-like blue hair with some sort of very chopped lips. Damn. Just chopped lips all the way. As Deku just walks off, being kind of confused, him just walking off, as he eventually hears something in the distance. As he walks around, as he looks, but he just doesn't see anything. As he just scoffs us off, as he just walks off farther and farther, eventually getting to the cab or the car. Basically, him being about 16. Yeah, Deku would be about 16. As Deku basically get into his car, as he would have drove back home. Basically, him being in a red gold color scheme Lamborghini. As he would drive into the basement, or aka the garage, as it would be a garage as well. So he would park his car, close up the garage, pretty much turn off the tech stuff, or his pretty much turn off his tech turn off his tech in his basement and go upstairs to his room. As his room would look like, Deku would have a room similar to this. Just imagine this room, but with a bunch of gaming stuff right here in this blank area or blank space, and also imagine the TV, the hologram TV he has, just with a bunch of hero highlights and stuff like that. Him also having a little bit of a workbench in his room on the other side behind his little TV area, because it's kind of some space behind there. So yeah. So he also, his bed is still a bed, but it also is a little bit higher, and he also has a bunch of gaming stuff, around the room. So it's pretty much of a gaming room, but when it's neat, it's kind of like this room. So nothing too much. So Deku's room it has a perfect view, a beautiful view over the over the pretty much ocean near the forest side they live in, like a lake, a beautiful lake going into the ocean. So yeah. So basically, Deku goes to sleep that night, and he would have heard something in the, pretty much backyard, as he would have gotten up, him grabbing a bat, as he would still have his one of his armored wristbands on, but nothing else. Him having pretty much pajamas on, barefoot, as he would put on some Crocs, and basically he would go out there, put the Crocs on sports mode, by the way. Gotta be on that, gotta be on it. So basically, Deku goes outside, looks around, has a bat in his hand, and basically he's like very much confused. So he looks around and he sees somebody run towards him. Deku lets it loose. He hits the man with so much ferocity, he knocks out his whole teeth, bro. Whole jawline got blocked. I mean, like, straight up, he falls down. He falls. He just falls down. So basically, Deku, looks over the guy and he sees that it's interesting. The guy is the guy he helped out earlier with the pretty much blue hair. As the guy wakes up, and then being knocked out as he disintegrates the bat by touching it. As Deku backs up, him summoning his glove on his hand, him having a repulsor beam straight on the guy about to blast him down. As Deku has him, locked and loaded, as he says, "No, look get closer, man, or we're gonna have to shoot you down." As the guy says, "I'm not here for you, I'm here for your tech. Give me what I need. My boss needs it." As Deku says, "What are you talking about? The Arc Reactor in your chest is a tech that we need, and I need it now." And Deku said, "I'm not giving you anything, so get off my property before I shoot you." As he says no, as Deku's about to shoot him, as he shoots him or shoots off a repulsor blast, as Tokiyaki, or what was it? Freak, I forget his name. The Shadow Court guy jumps in, teleports Shigaraki out there before the blast can hit him. So Deku just hits a tree in the front lawn, as Shigaraki was standing in front of the tree. As Deku looks around, him being very confused, as he pits up the security levels, or the security on the house, as it's like laser sensors pit on now, and also like a lot of alarm on. As Deku also locks up his garage like tight. I mean like security, military levels of security. So Deku, locks up the house at night, goes to sleep, and is kind of worried about what's going on. So basically Deku's gonna have a lot more of a bigger role against the pretty much League of Villains, and he is going to have a lot more of a pretty much very depth talk with the League of Villains. So it pretty much a lot more, I guess, a lot more stuff is gonna involve the League of Villains with Deku's story in this canon. So yeah, or in this fanfiction. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe. I'm definitely going to try to do a reaction video this week. And I'm going to be reacting to some episodes of My Hero. I'm going to have a good reaction, because overall, some of the stuff My Hero characters do is kind of stupid, but whatever. So basically, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you guys like and subscribe. And as always, guys, have a blessed day.